here now. Let's see how he got on, but...
Hello Dave.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Drift Games vlog. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing good. On this episode we are going to build, hopefully, a 600 horsepower LS3 for my Corvette drift car. But before we do, you know what we're doing? We're being a little unfair to ourselves, is what we're doing here. Because we're down here at JDM Distro, we're picking up some work wheels for the enemy.
I was going to say, we're actually helping the enemy.
We're helping the enemy. Because we were down here, we're picking up some wheels for 888 on their Pandem E36. So we're helping them to beat us in the competition. So we're gonna go in and grab those wheels, they're pretty cool. And then we're gonna hit the road, go up to Motorsport 56 to the genius, Bob Stevens, who's gonna be showing us how to build an LS3 for my drift car and show us all of the wiring that's been going on in the Corvette. We haven't seen the Corvette in a couple of weeks. I can't wait to see it. So let's grab these wheels and get on with it. This is a dangerous place to go actually, because
It's a dangerous place for you.
dangerous place for me, but I don't need any wheels right now, thank God. It's very mesmerizing. Do you ever find yourself just standing trying to take in all the different shapes and models, and those purple ones are just gangster.
They're the ones that stand out the most.
Yeah, so our wheels are over here. I just spotted them when I came in the door, so we'll grab them, throw them into the Golf van, which, as you guys know, we'll be getting the Pandem kit very soon. And I think we have something else here for our G35 as well.
So we got some wheel nuts and we're picking up the lights.
Yeah, so these wheels are obviously, when you go building a Pandem E36, you're gonna need big ass wheels. So these are the most aggressive ones I could find here. And we've got these for the G35. So they're to go with our Strom DS25s. We want to put some, because we're putting graphics on it that are red, I wanted to put some red wheel nuts on as well.
Stick with the red theme.
Just to make it pop a little bit. So I'm gonna throw these into the car, head off to Bob's and start building an engine. Hey, what a machine. Next stop, Motorsport 56. We're gonna have a little bit of a walk around there. We're gonna show you guys what's going on. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, but we can best off because we are late.
Oh, we're late. Sorry. Let's go. Right, sorry. Too much talking. Too much talking. Looking for Bob in Motorsport 56. Do you know where he is? He's up above, is he? He is. No crack, no. Anyway, look, we'll talk to you. See you now. Look.
He wasn't that interested in you.
He's not, he's more of a 2J fan. So we are here at Motorsport 56. Bob, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Dave?
We're getting some progress made on the Corvette.
Well, the loom's done. It just needs to be tidied up and put the engine back in, connect everything, just get it all put in.
We have a lot of stuff in this car, I can see, that's sort of mocked up because we have to get the dashboard back from Matty. So we have the Link display here. We've got the Link Extreme ECU in there. And talk us through about all this jazz that's going on here, because it looks very neat.
This is your Extreme. These are your two CAN lambdas for bank 1, bank 2. Your GPS, and you have the fuse box with all the relays.
We obviously have to get everything assembled back up, and then you'll be actually plugging everything in once it gets back into the car, so all the little bits and pieces. But today, and the reason you're watching this video is because we're going to build an engine. Yeah. An engine that I've never owned before, which is an LS. It's my first LS, so I brought it to you, Bob, the expert. I'm sure a lot of people watching this channel are very, very high up and know a lot about engines. But me and Josh know absolutely nothing. So we're going to try and take your knowledge and really layman it down to us of what's going on, and we'll build this engine today, and hopefully it makes somewhere between 500 and 600 horsepower.
I put the double valve springs in already with the retainers and new keepers and everything, valve stem seals, and then there's also a spring retainer for the bottom. So
these are the two heads.
He's lost you already.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. I'm presuming this is the block, and this is the two heads. So what we're doing is actually, most of the work we're doing is changing on the heads, or the what's called the valve train on the car.
The valve train. So it's basically all, cam, your timing chain, your push rods, your lifters, your springs, your retainers, your keepers. We're putting an oil pump, an ATI dampener, a new sump, and then also the trunnion kit. So basically I changed these because they're like a press-in fit, but these change to ball bearing, but they're also clipped on. See, I have C clips on it so it can't come in and out. So we're putting those on it. Oh, and obviously the intake, the high
The
ram.
very fancy intake. The
The
intake's
only bit you care
That's
about.
the bit I think just looks the fanciest.
Yeah.
So by the end of this video, all of this
Yes.
is going to be here
Yeah.
with the intake on it
Yeah.
and ready to go in the car.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. It's been a long road to this now because
Yeah.
that standard LS3 that's in that car has 52,000 miles on it, so it's not a very high mileage engine. But we're going to take everything that's wrong with that engine, essentially for high revving or not lack of reliability, and then make a really good engine here that hopefully will be competitive, fast, rev up quick, and will be awesome and sound awesome. And we're going to let Bob crack on with this, and we're going to jump in and back and see how he's getting on. And we've got some other parts here as well, so we've got lots going on today, so there's a lot coming up in this episode.
So is that the first part fitted?
Yeah, that's the first part fitted.
There you go, Dave.
We're making progress.
Or the bump stick.
The bump stick is in. Bit that makes it go bop, 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 bop. That's what the cam does.
Yeah.
And so this is the only part that we're putting in the engine that maximizes horsepower. Everything else we're doing is sort of for reliability for that horsepower.
Exactly. Also, the intake will maximize horsepower too.
This is a lot more aggressive than what came out of the car.
Yeah. This is replacing from a single roller to a double roller. If you look, there's actually two in one. So there's two chains in one. So it's converting from, usually there's a single chain.
So it's like double as strong almost.
Yeah, it's making it double as strong. The cam gear and these are machined now, like rather than like a cast. Makes it stronger that way too.
Is that so it's less likely to shed teeth
Yeah,
and make it slip?
exactly, and crack
Yeah.
from high RPM and vibration. Once the cam pulley is set in and settled and it's all timed up, I then Loctite the bolts so they don't fall back out, obviously, or come loose, because they have a tendency of doing that.
So a lot of you guys might be wondering on the channel why there wasn't much movement on stuff on the Corvette. The simple reason is parts. It's a bit of a nightmare at the moment because most of the parts before would just come to Ireland and that would be great. Now they go through the UK, and because the UK with Brexit and all the custom stuff just seem to sit there for ages. Like we're just getting phone calls every day saying it's here, we're sitting in front of it, we haven't cleared customs. I just got off the phone with Christoph from HDK, who we have the majority of the parts that are remaining are all from HDK.
This a car.
So the whole interior, exterior, doors, some Sonus rear end, winters, drive shaft, everything.
Majority of the car.
The majority of the car is with HDK. So even though the Corvette has slowed down a lot, the best thing about it is that it's all going to come at one time. So at the moment they have the full carbon panels there. They're just packaging it up into a crate. You can hear it starting to rain in Ireland. It was a nice day.
That's how fast the weather
That's how fast the
changes.
weather changes here. Yeah.
It was a sunny day.
And now it's, well, at least we're inside. This car will be sitting in the workshop. It's heading back in a few days to be assembled of what we can assemble, and then we're waiting on those two crates from HGK to put the rest of the car back together. So we've got all the racing line stuff there to plumb the car. We have all the parts sitting in our workshop ready for this car to be put back together to like 70%, but the last 30% is going to come in two big crates, and that's everything else for the car. However, there are some more parts here, and parts are pretty much everything with this. We were waiting on a couple of things. So
I didn't even know what these parts are.
yeah, well, this is the last parts we've bought for the car, and I'm hoping, because our budget is like pretty much blown at this stage, so this is the last parts we're going to need for the car. This is some piping for our new oil cooler. We've got some oil filters. This is a nifty bit of kit. So this is a power steering cooler, as far as I know. This is the oil cooler. So I got that.
Embarrassing.
This is the power steering one. To be fair now, Josh, like they're not much different. That's a very big power steering cooler with a big old
They're
fan.
quite a bit different. I mean, there's loads of pipes going through there. There's none. I mean, you got it pretty wrong, to be honest.
Well, you know, I never claim to be an expert. That's why I bring it to the experts. So these are going to be keeping the car as cool as possible.
1800 CFM, so they're pretty impressive actually.
I've heard rumors that these are so strong that if you turn them on the ground, they can actually lift off the ground.
I will be honest with you, I actually didn't believe it when I first seen it, but they are impressive. Basically, when you put the oil pump on, you have to shim the vane gear with the collar that goes on the crankshaft and put the oil pump up, and then put it up loose. Then you tighten it down so that way it centers itself, if you get me. So if you don't shim it in a triangle formation, it'll wobble.
Yeah.
Obviously, wobble causes vibration. Vibrations will cause fracture in the vane, and it'll crack and break and fall apart, and all those bad things that you don't want to happen. So that little bit just assures that it's centered, if you get me. And then you pull your shims out.
Alright guys, the engine's being built by Bob to go into the Corvette, and when it is built we will be running this car on top to bottom Mobil 1 lubricants. Mobil 1 are a partner of ours, and if it's good enough for the Red Bull Formula 1 team, it's definitely good enough for us. We run every single one of our cars on Mobil 1 lubricants. We've had no issues, touch wood, with any of our cars so far, and that's down to the quality of their products. So check out Burke Lubricants, the distributor here in Ireland, and check out the full Mobil 1 range on their website, and don't run anything less. It's not worth it. This is the best stuff you can get.
Basically, the pan bolts to the block, and then the front and rear cover go up against the pan to center themselves. So that's why you mate the pan first, if you get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to give Bob a little bit of a breakdown there, and I think Dave has found a new office desk up on the welding bench.
My office is anywhere I am these days. I'm in sheds, I'm in planes. Well, not in planes anymore, but trains. No, I'm not in trains anymore. Actually, I'm just in sheds.
You're just in sheds?
Pretty much sheds all the time. Used to be planes, trains, cars.
What would you rate this shed office?
This is a good shed office. I'm on a nice even
you
table.
got
I've got a little bar stool here. I've got a lot of metal around me.
Nice scenery.
Alright guys, so I'm working on some stuff at the moment. I'm doing some thumbnails for the YouTube channel, so I'm showing you guys now on my screen. This is a BMW we've had to Photoshop to be red because we're building this car with the guys from 888 and it's coming out very soon. So I had to take Craig's car, which is actually blue, and make it red, and then we did this fancy text. And I actually really like this text, but then I never realized that it takes me like 20 minutes to actually make this. It's almost like making a logo every single time, but it looks cool, so that's all that matters. Also working on this cool sticker pack you guys will see here. So we're gonna have a sticker pack of all of our cars. So you can see there the Mustang and the MX-5 you've already seen, but there's the new Mustang and the new Corvette. These are all gonna be peelable stickers, and the Drift Games logo is also peelable as well. So you guys will be able to basically buy the cars, stick the cars wherever you want. We're also working on our team gear. You guys will see it here. Yeah, so it's going to be like a really cool t-shirt design. Factory 83 helped us with this, so it's got all of our partners and it's black and white. It's quite cool. It's quite racy with the checker flag on the bottom. So we're working on that. It's not the final design, but you guys are getting a little sneak peek of it right now. What else are we doing? Oh, I'm just working with some of these sponsors at the moment. So every sort of month or so, I check back in with the sponsors, give them a big update on the projects we're working on, how many views we're doing, how's the engagement, anything we can get involved with them. We kind of need to be ahead of ourselves. So if they want to send us some products to put in some of the videos that you guys see, we can put them in. So yeah, it's all kind of moving at the same time. So anywhere I am, if Bob is building the engine and I can't physically do it, or anything's working on the cars, I'm working on this to make sure that we've got the next stage of the process all ready to rock and roll, and we're always working ahead of ourselves. So yeah, kind of 7 days a week, 365. We absolutely love it though, and it's keeping us on our toes throughout this whole process. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to work, let Josh take back the camera, get back to the engine build.
These are just push rods. These are what basically, when the cam lobe comes up, it pushes the lifter, which then in return pushes the push rod, which then pushes the rocker to open the valve and spring, and then lets air and exhaust gases out. It makes the boom, squish, bang thing. And all the horsepowers.
What are these parts?
These are the rockers. So these are the, obviously this is what was explained earlier, the cam pushes the lifter, which pushes the push rod, which then in return, this, you know, it rocks like. This is just the valley plate. That just covers, obviously that's the valley, and then that covers it. But the oil pressure goes through the back here. So that's where the fitting goes for the oil pressure.
What's in here?
Dave's just come in.
Sorry.
Just because it's getting closer for this to go on.
Yeah, I'm excited now again.
I'm gonna put the rocker covers on, and then once I get the rocker covers on, we'll put the fancy bit that you want to
The
see.
big boy.
And then
Isn't it nice having an NA engine for once without all the turbo things and like all the wastegates and the intercooler pipes and the boost controllers and all? It is quite,
All the things on my car, essentially.
all the things Josh is going to have to deal with, which I've been dealing with for the last probably 8-10 years. I don't have to deal with it anymore. I have an engine that's quite simplistic. It's big. Like I'm really happy that we're changing all of these little things that essentially, you know, are kind of the mass manufactured part of the engine, which is just to make it cheaper to make, whereas we're making it better and more reliable, which is, those are the notes I've been given.
You're saying them well.
I don't know how to build an engine. I never said I did, but I really enjoy watching someone who knows what they're doing.
I will say it's been very therapeutic.
It
to
is very
actually see all the
therapeutic.
new parts go in there.
Yeah, it's very nice to watch.
So this is the last part
I
to
didn't
go
want to
on.
take it away from Bob up to here now. I wanted to, let's see how he got on, but
oh, it's okay.
Dave, if you dropped that now after all this,
no, I didn't. Okay, so
don't bend them now.
yeah, I'm in there.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
And that's all you want to. You can go now.
Yeah.
It looks insane, doesn't it? Is that it done?
Well, I need to put the water pump on it, and I need to finish bolting down the intake. But other than that, we can put it in the car.
That is the first smile from the car you've got. The rest has been grief.
This has been a lot of grief to get to here. My thumbs
Yeah.
are staying up. 'Cause this is, I'm excited again now. Because you know what it's like with projects. You get to that lull where you go,
Yeah.
oh, it's just ordering and problems and hassle. And I remember seeing it when Ryan had finished the fabrication and I got the yay. And then when Mike painted, I was like, yay. And then it was like, bye, and bits. And I don't know what half of the stuff does. And then it all comes together and you go, yes.
Yay again.
Yes, again. This is going to make power and look good. And this is the whole point of the car, is this piece here. Doesn't do much without this. My first ever LS and it's looking pretty tasty.
Here at Drift Games, we absolutely love online drifting. But more importantly, for you guys watching at home, we want to get you in the game as well. So we've partnered up with digitalmotorsports.com, Ireland's first online sim store, who are experts in everything when it comes to online drifting. And they're going to give you guys a full free sim rig at the end of this series. Now I know you want to know, how do you win? But it's quite simple. Every single episode of Games Changers, we're going to release a letter. It looks a bit like this. And that letter will form a sentence. And at the end of the series, the first person who can put that full sentence together correctly wins a full simulator. Now that's not bad going.
All right, so we're gonna get the engine now. I can't believe we say this. We're getting the engine back in the car.
So I say it's actually a nice way of actually finishing the video with the engine back into the car.
Yeah, like I thought today we might just get it built, but Bob's been motoring through everything, pardon the pun. And then got the bits and bobs back on it, that's another pun. Like, that's a big moment, like, that's a big moment for this car. It's been a long journey since December. And at times you feel sometimes like, especially when you're ordering parts and it's all the first 2 or 3 weeks you're excited. Then it hits this kind of reality of everything doesn't move as fast as you want it to move. And then obviously with Bob and a deadline, we're like, now we're starting to push towards that deadline. Bob puts in the hours today. We can actually get a little bit ahead, which is amazing. So like, thank you to Bob for taking the time to be able to put it all together so quickly. I think this is like the top of the hill. It's like you get there, all the parts ordered, all the customs, all the Brexit, all the delays, all the misery. We're past all that now. Now it's just put the car back together, and that's amazing. What a day. Progress. We have got the LS3 fully rebuilt valve train and the intake on, and now we have the loom and the wiring of the car to a certain extent ready to go. Thank you so much, Bob. Amazing job of getting it in. It's starting to look so much better already. I'm excited again. I hope you guys at home are excited as well, because we haven't seen the Corvette in a little while, and I think it's a nice episode to come back to it because such a big chunk of progress has been made. From this point on, and I'm promising you this, everything is something going on the car that's not coming back off the car, because that's been the last couple of months, because trying, testing, fitting it. Now we can finally put this thing back together. I'm so hyped. So let us know in the comments. Hope this episode was pretty helpful to you guys. If you want any V8 work done, come to Bob, because obviously he's the expert. As you guys can see, the end result here is that we are going to be building an engine, and I can't wait to see all the ancillaries around it, because we've got catch cans and coolers and power steering coolers and all that stuff. It's just going to look crazy in this engine bay, and there's not a whole lot more space left in it, so we have a lot to fit in here, but it's going to be mental when it's done. So thank you guys for watching. We had an amazing time making the video. We learned a lot today, Josh, which is important.
We did.
We learned. Me and you actually helped put the engine in this car, which is a big first for the channel. So yeah, awesome stuff. Hit the comments below, let us know what you think of the build so far. If you're looking forward to the future episodes, obviously check out the Drift Games shop as well. We've got a brand new merch range there. It really helps us out if you guys buy something. We've got some big giveaways coming off there as well in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that on our social media. Other than that, on to the next one, and we'll see you then.